Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Harley, this is Andrew, we're from Rival Mind. We're gonna be diving into a really important topic, something super cool. We both love this topic, Google My Business. It's Google's free tool. It's a snapshot into your business. We're gonna dissect how you can make this work for your business.
Harley, I'm looking forward to this conversation. Google My Business, one of the most underutilized, and you said free tools on Google. So I'm looking forward to talking about, we've got a couple different buckets we're gonna look at. A couple stats just get us started of why this is so important. About 76% of users that search for something local actually end up visiting that location within 24 hours. And then the other stat to that is about 46% of all searches are local intent. So someone looking for something local. So Harley, as we get started into this, what is Google My Business and where can I find it?
Yeah, good question. So Google My Business as a whole, like I was saying, it's a snapshot of your business information. It's Google saying, hey, I have all this information about your business. I'm going to collect it here. I'm going to show an image. I'm going to show the name of the business. I'm going to show your hours. I'm going to show questions people might have asked you. I'm going to show your reviews. I'm going to show a ton of content all about you. And so managing that is super important for businesses to manage their brand identity, manage how people perceive them, and also keep up on what Google thinks of their interactions with their potential clients. How you find it. So on my screen, I actually have it pulled up here, our Google My Business listing, the Rival Mind one. And so simply all I've done is I've searched Rival Mind in Google and it pulls up on the right-hand side. You can see here the Google My Business listing. We have, you know, a photo that we've placed. We have a little map, our kind of a shot of one of our offices there. We've got our little logo. We've got the name. We've got all kinds of this information that Google's pulled up about our business and syndicated right here for people to see. Now you'll notice that we've got things like hours, we've got questions and answers that people have asked that we've answered. We've got reviews, we've got snapshots of reviews, even a description of our business, latest content, and even social profiles. So you can see how this piece of information is super helpful for anyone looking or finding your business on the internet. And you mentioned Google Maps. Google Maps is where these listings essentially live. So if someone's searching for SEO services in St. Charles or SEO services Chicago, Google's going to aggregate all of the SEO companies in a certain area and post them based on specific criteria. So using this listing to monitor how Google sees you interacting with your clients and sees you publishing and following the algorithms is really going to boost your visibility. Yeah,
that's all. Those are great points, Harley. So to summarize, Google My Business is ultimately a listing Google gives every business on Google, right? Or every business out there their own listing, which I would say it's kind of like a hub of information. Reviews, phone numbers. It has any way that you need to contact a business or learn about a business, you can see that information in a Google My Business card or listing. So that's all great, Harley. I appreciate the insight on that. Moving on, what types of businesses should use Google My Business? Is it local? Is it national? Is it both? I'm kind of leading the question a little bit, but Harley, what kind of comes to mind when you think about who is Google My Business best for?
Yeah, that's a really, really important question because the train of thought is, well, it's all about Google Maps. It's all about local. It's only for businesses who are trying to get foot traffic to their stores. That's totally not the case. Now, those businesses do benefit the most from Google My Business because Google's local algorithm focuses so much on the proximity to the searcher that those businesses do benefit when they're exercising all the opportunity available in the listings. However, national businesses have the opportunity to make their brand look sweet. You have the ability to polish every piece of how Google sees your brand, from your header image featured to your logo to the name, the specific name of the business. I think the most important thing here is reviews. I mean, we hear stats about reviews all the time, helping people rank. Reviews are how people shop for vendors. Reviews are how people shop for products. So whether you're local or national, managing and monitoring what's going on with this listing is going to help you drive business.
Yeah. you bring up a great point, Harley. And when you're talking, what came to mind was, like, for example, we work with a lot of manufacturers that might be located in Chicagoland or anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
And they work with clients in all 50 states. And the question is, I am not looking for local business, but we still recommend Google My Business. And the reason for that is, one, it does help control your brand, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Also, reviews are very important. It's a great way to see reviews. And really, at the end of the day, the focus of any digital marketing is to get more business, right? And I think Google My Business allows you to easily let somebody get in contact with you. Maybe your phone number is there. So somebody that's looking up a manufacturer, maybe in Texas, but the manufacturer is in Chicago, you might want to just hop on the phone and call them. They've got great reviews, etc. So that just came to mind of where a national SEO strategy with Google My Business could be beneficial.
Yeah, and I think there's something to be said for, okay, well, this is something that Google monitors. It's not super important, but when we talk about brand identity management, Google, just like any other internet platform, makes mistakes. And in their methods of data aggregation, it's very possible for them to make a mistake. They may have the wrong address for your business. They may have the wrong name. They may have the wrong hours. They may, they may have the wrong business
they're just
category.
Estimating what they think.
Exactly. They're trying to pull data from other sources that may or may not be accurate. And so the problem is, Google being the most frequented internet search engine, that means that whatever Google has in relation to your business is what's being seen the most by the public. And so if you're even not interested as a national business, if you're not interested in optimizing for local and capturing the local audience, if you haven't claimed your listing, and if you haven't cleaned up anything that Google might have in mistake or in error, people are seeing errors. And so it's so important. Can't stress it enough to at least claim the listing and make sure that it's accurate to everything that you know to be true as the business owner, because again, Google's a robot, and it does definitely make mistakes on this.
So we've seen that often with hours, phone numbers we've seen to be incorrect. So as we mentioned in the beginning, it is free to claim your Google My Business and optimize it. So thank you, Harley. What types of businesses should use Google My Business, both local and national?
Absolutely.
So last bucket of talking about Google My Business, how can Google My Business help a company, and potentially what are maybe a couple of your top favorite features that would be worth paying attention to?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple main buckets of how the Google My Business listing can help a company. The first one is visibility. The better performing your Google My Business listing is, the more visible you'll be on those localized searches and even some national searches. We've seen companies that have created such a synonymous connection between a service they're offering and their brand that when somebody searches for that service, their brand comes up, even if it's a national search. So that is possible. And the second one, after the driving visibility for local searches, the second one is driving interaction and actual business through this listing. I've seen companies that don't even have a website generate tons of phone calls and emails through Google My Business alone. So you can operate your website and your Google My Business listing separately and make waves for your company. Those are the two main buckets of how Google My Business can help. And when you use it in concert with a marketing strategy and a website, I mean, it's just fantastic. So the tool itself is amazing, but pairing it with a marketing strategy is just the cat's pajamas.
I mean, and just the last but not least, to kind of put this in a real life example. I mean, just think a suburb with 200,000 people looking for an ice cream shop on their phones. They're looking on the map. That top ice cream shop is gonna benefit from an optimized Google My Business card and lots of reviews. And that can make a big difference. If you're the top shop versus someone that's second, third, or fourth, I mean, that could mean millions of dollars depending on what that business. So it's someone in Chicago thinking about an example. I think about
I just had ice cream last night. That's a great example.
I think about, I'm on my phone looking for an ice cream shop, and that first Google result a lot of times is where I end up, right?
Yeah.
And that can be influenced by a well set up Google My Business card. So Harley, as we wrap things up, we looked at what is Google My Business, what types of businesses could benefit from it, and how can Google My Business help. So Harley, any closing thoughts you have before we wrap up?
Yeah, so I did want to point out just a couple sweet features. I do have, again, on my screen here, I have our listing pulled up just in the back end, just to show everybody the power of all the individual tools that are available. So even just right in this initial viewport, Google My Business gives you the ability to create a post. Now these posts can be up to 1,500 characters long. They can have an image or a video, and then they can also even link to the website. So these are great for, hey, we're having a sale on our shoes, or hey, this is a service we're offering, or this is a new service that we're bringing out. It's all kinds of great opportunity. The second one here is adding photos right in the middle of the screen. You can add a photo to your Google My Business listing. Let's say you had an event and that event was super successful. You drew 1,000 people to the event and you want people to see you know, those things. Google seriously values all of that. And so creating posts, adding photos, and then the last one right even in the viewport here is Google loves doing localized ads. And so it actually gives you the ability to launch a super basic Google Ads campaign right from the listing, which eliminates the need for bulky ad campaigns that take a long time. If you have a specific quick mission you're trying to get, you can launch a quick ad campaign, which is really cool. But then on the left, in the dashboard on the left-hand side, it gives you all kinds of features. It even gives you the ability to track your progress. So it's got these insights that are by month, by week, by quarter. So you can see how many people are finding you directly, how many people are discovering your brand through search, and how many people already know your brand. It also gives you the ability to look at who's reviewing you and whether you've replied or not. So you can see a bunch of these reviews here that we've got, and we reply. So Google is analyzing your reviews, and it's analyzing, one, how quickly you get back to those customers, and two, what kind of language are you using in those reviews, because it's literally algorithmically judging your customer service level through these reviews, which is pretty incredible. Through the mobile app, and here you've got the ability to do instant messaging, which is really cool. I actually have this app on my phone to be able to help our customers when they do instant message. You can upload bulk photos right directly to this. You can see we had our photo shoot done. We've got Jared, our developer, hanging out right there. We've got a team meeting going on. My really great dapper photo. So we've got a bunch of great team photos. These are all things that Google's looking for. These are things that people like. If they find a company they want to work with, they're going to go through all that information to see, hey, do these guys match my culture? Do they agree with the things I agree with? Are they putting out content that's interesting to me? Do they have reviews? Can't stress that enough. Are the reviews good? All of these different things. And then even for like e-commerce businesses, products, you can offer products on here. Restaurants, you can do a menu. There's just so many different important features about Google My Business that allows you to really not only manage how you look, but then engage with your customer base, your audience. So really, this in a nutshell is a way to, for free, again, free, a way to engage with your audience, prove to Google that your business is worth the attention, and see the results.
Yeah, that's great, Harley, because you really were just scratching the surface of it.
Oh yeah.
Like some of those things I love because it's simple. It's not necessarily difficult to do. It's just executing it regularly. So, those are some great suggestions you dove into there. And I know there are dozens more of best practices in how to respond to reviews, what types of photos to even post. Just not to get too into the weeds, but that was all very helpful, Harley. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you liked what you saw, feel free to like and share and subscribe. Or if you have any other questions that I mentioned below, feel free to comment below. We look forward to seeing your questions.